As a physician, you have huge responsibilities in the future, if you do get admitted into med school, to treat patients. And sometimes patients are of a certain religion or certain denomination that doesn't allow them to receive certain treatments. For example, Jehovah's Witnesses aren't allowed or refuse to accept any kind of blood transfusions because of their religion. But from a medical perspective, if that's the only thing that will save their lives, in that kind of scenario, what do you think would be the appropriate thing to do?
Well, I feel pretty fortunate having a background where the majority of my family, and I grew up mostly around the Mormon faith, the Latter-day Saints, and after making the appropriate consent with the legalities and the family, I would allow them to make a decision that they felt was the most appropriate, even if it were against the patient health-wise and medically-wise.
What if that decision is, oh no, we do not want that blood transfusion to take place?
Absolutely. I would consider that after looking at the legalities and the consent and the liability with the hospital and myself, to allow that to happen, because seeing someone in a position of faith, I understand that sometimes the healing can take place amongst the family and even with the patient if they can fulfill what they see is right in their life and finishing their life in a sense that it completes what they've always believed in. And I've seen how people treasure that, see that as a livelihood, seeing that as a means to an end. And I think taking that away from the patient and from the family could do more damage in the long run than letting them fulfill their beliefs. For example, my grandmother has a very, very devout faith in her church, and there are certain disagreements I've had with her directly, but I also see the benefits that it does for her. And if she were to be in a position where I could see someone denying that to her, I could see that affecting her. That would affect me, even though I'm not in the faith of the Mormon church. And it would affect our family as well, because in the sense that patient's interconnected, and it's important to allow them to fulfill their needs.
And in the end, that patient died.
Correct.
And then what?
The patient dies, and in medicine, sometimes not everyone can be saved. And even though it was not because of medicine that this person did not survive, but I feel that respecting their religion is still an opportunity to heal, because the patient fulfilled their needs and the family was able to cope with it better than us having to deny their beliefs.
And knowing that with that transfusion, that patient would be alive today, how would that make you feel?
I wouldn't like it. I would disagree with it. But again, that my background with a family who's in a faith, I understand that they found that as the most comforting result. And I think that's more important, because sometimes, for example, with my case, when I lost my mother, there was no answer medically or faith-wise. And sometimes things are going to end a certain way, you don't want that. And I don't know how that physician took that, but in this example, I think that the family being comforted is a big component to being a physician and healing a community.
Okay. Well, those are most of the questions I had for you. Do you have any questions for me?
I was considering applying to all Texas schools, and I was wondering if San Antonio is somewhere where you enjoy being at, and if I could maybe be enlightened more with your experiences being here in San Antonio.
San Antonio is, in my opinion, the place where I have spent most of my lifetime, most of my adult lifetime, I should say. And I've been to the other medical schools before. I think that by comparison, I think we have one of the better ones. We take great pride in the instructors that are here, the professors that are here, and I think that we are, in my opinion, one of the best that there is around. San Antonio, I think, because of its locality and because of its culture and because of its all the different diversity that's here, I think creates an environment that attracts students and keeps them here, and provides for not only a very excellent education, but a really good atmosphere for growth and development. So I think that this would be, in my opinion, a really good choice if this is where you'd like to go.
Excellent. I like the way you use growth and development. That's one of the things I like to continuously do in my life, and I feel more comfortable knowing that.
Very good. Well, thank you, sir.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.